Hey girl, Send Out here coming at you with another video, and this one is widely requested, so we're gonna kill a couple of birds with one little old stone. And if you are new to my channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe, and once you subscribe, make sure you click the bell. Actually, if you're already subscribed to my channel, click that bell. So in this video, I am going to teach you everything that they don't want you to know as it pertains to the hair industry and getting started in the hair industry. Now listen, do not leave. Even if you're not a hairstylist, this is some very valuable information that you can use for any field of work, because at the end of the day, being an independent contractor is just that, being an independent contractor, and that could be in anything, not just hair. So I think this is some very valuable information, and if you want it, keep watching, girl. Now, a lot of people are very confused as it pertains to the cosmetology industry. Most people, if you were to ask them, and it's funny because I actually do this, and some of my clients, we have this conversation, but if you were to actually sit there and ask a cosmetologist how much money she had to spend to go to school, most people would say, oh, like $2,000, because they think that it's like some type of certificate program, where even though you get a certificate, that's not what it entails. Let's state some big old facts. Attending cosmetology school is a dream for thousands of students. While cosmetology school is expensive, it is much more affordable than other degree programs. To attend an accredited cosmetology school will usually cost anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000. To attend top beauty schools will usually cost anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000. When students are considering beauty school, they should consider the cost of the entire program as well as room and board and textbooks. Now, all of this information I'm going to leave in the description box below for links for you guys to go ahead and look at it for yourself. Now, $20,000, that actually sounds pretty cheap, and I didn't even go to one of the top cosmetology schools, and I paid $29,000 to go to cosmetology school. Now, most people think that, I don't know, some people may think that that's a very small amount, but let's talk about another profession that you guys love so much, which I actually love. Let's talk about medical assistants. Medical assistant school costs. How much does a medical assistant school cost? Low price training school runs from $1,200 to $4,200. Average price 1 year certification can run from $2,500 to $10,000. High price an associate's degree runs from $600 to $5,400 in state, and $5,400 to $10,000 out of state. Okay, so a medical assistant program, a medical assistant is very well respected. I know I respect them, but the point that I'm trying to make for you guys is it's almost double the price to be a cosmetologist than it is to be a medical assistant with an associate's degree. So I think that information alone should give you a mental synopsis of what a cosmetologist degree holds and the type of training that you have to hold one. Now, right now, what I'm going to give you guys are the 5 things that they do not want you to know and they do not tell you as it pertains to cosmetology school and the hair industry in general. First thing that they will not teach you in cosmetology school, which is one of the most important things to me, is the mechanics. And by mechanics, I mean the way that the whole entire system works. What happens is you go to cosmetology school and people think that when they sign up, when they get out of school, they're going to have every tool that they need to be, you know, just like their favorite Instagram or their favorite YouTuber or whatever you want to call it. Well, that is not the case, baby. The only thing that you learn in cosmetology school is how to pass state board. That is it. And by how to pass state board, I mean the laws of your state in particular. So sanitation, proper techniques as it pertains to hair color, relaxers, whatever you want to call it, terminology, the mechanics and the actual bookwork and the science, if you will, of cosmetology. So when it comes to weaves and things of that nature, no, they do not teach you that. Another thing that is very important about the mechanics of the cosmetology field is understanding what to do with the information that you have in cosmetology school. Understand that this entire thing, and not even necessarily just the hair industry, everything, any school you go to, things like that, It is a business, and there are other businesses and other companies that partner with these schools to make sure and to ensure that they always are able to scratch each other's backs. And by scratching each other's backs, I mean this. When I was in cosmetology school and I went to when I got here to Vegas, I went to Maranello, and I think that should show you guys enough in itself that the cosmetology school that you went to has absolutely nothing to do with the type of stylist that you turn out to be. Now, whenever I was in cosmetology school at Maranello, they had partnerships with certain hair salons. For example, JCPenney's, Supercuts, Great Clips, and different places like that. They were under contract with Maranello Schools of Beauty, so they would constantly come up there once we got on the floor. And by on the floor, I mean once you got able to do certain clients, then they would come in and they would talk to you and they would make you believe that commission is what you're supposed to do right after cosmetology school. And what happens there, once you go to commission, you never, ever, ever even think about learning the mechanics of the hair industry, because this is what they do. Come on with us and, work on commission. You don't have to worry about your clients. You don't really have to worry about anything. We'll do all the promotion, and then you don't know how things work. If you're a hairstylist that works on commission, basically for that hair salon, they have set prices. You do the work, and then most of the time it's 60-40. So you get 60%, and then the hair salons gets 40%. That is the norm, at least here in Nevada. Other places it could be 80-20. I've even heard some places being 50-50. And hey, it is what it is depending on where you are. Now, the second thing that they do not teach you in cosmetology school is positioning. Expert positioning, to be exact. What is expert positioning? Girl, I'm gonna tell you, girl. Expert positioning is very simple, which is why it's like mind-blowing to me that they don't even include it whatsoever in cosmetology school. It blows me away that they don't even teach, they don't even scratch the surface of this in cosmetology school. But expert positioning is simply this: you have to decide which portion of the industry you fit into. What they tell you off rip when you're in cosmetology school is to basically go with the flow and move along with your entire cosmetology degree. Now, there is nothing wrong with that. With a cosmetology license, you are well versed in everything from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. But you want to figure out which part of the industry you fit into properly. This is what I mean by that. Most of the time, everybody wants to do everything. They're like, oh, I can do silk wraps. Oh, I can do roller sets. Oh, I can do braids. Oh, I can do cornrows all the time. Ooh, oh, braids and cornrows, that's the same thing, huh? Weaves. Oh, I can do frontals. I can do short hair. Listen, sometimes there are hairstylists that can do everything. However, the majority of hairstylists are not extremely well versed and talented in every aspect of the cosmetology field, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. You need to figure out which portion of the industry you fit into best, because listen, everybody may not fit into the same portion of the hair industry. Like me, for an example. Listen, I'm not doing nobody's box braids ever, okay? You're gonna be getting your hair braided for about 4 years. Mess around with me, I'm just letting you know right now. Everybody just needs to learn how to stay in their own lane. Figure out what your lane is and position yourself in that lane. Once you figure out which portion of the industry you fit into, you then need to do self-reflection and sit down and really figure out, okay, what is this portion of the industry that I feel most comfortable in? What is missing from this industry, and what can I do to fit into that industry, and what can I do? What can I bring to the table to fix this problem? That is one of the most important parts of expert positioning. You have figured out which portion of the industry you fit into, then you've done your research and you figured out what is missing from that industry. You need to then figure out what you can do to make yourself stand out and do that thing and make it so there is no other option to fix this problem in the industry but you. And once you have done that, then you have put yourself in a position to where you can charge whatever you want, and and you can be your own boss, and then the world is yours. I've watched so many videos, even before doing this video. You know, I watched a couple of other videos just to make sure that I'm not giving you guys the same old information over and over again. And time and time again, I saw the same exact thing. And a lot of these experts were giving to a lot of you guys coming up in the cosmetology field was to do specials and do different promotions and things of that nature. That is the worst thing you can ever do as it pertains to starting your business. Hear me out. I'm only giving you guys advice based on the things that I know to be true, and I only know these things to be true because I started my business from the ground up. I didn't have anybody promoting me. I didn't have a big hairstylist that was, and I'm not knocking anyone, but I didn't have a big hairstylist that was already established in the background of me, pushing me forward and propelling me forward. That is not how it went for me. If you guys want a more detailed and in-depth look at how I got started in the hair industry from the time I enrolled into cosmetology school to present day, then go ahead and leave me a comment below and I will make that video for you. One video that I saw time and time again, they drove me absolutely insane here on YouTube, was different hairstylists telling you guys that the one thing that you should do is do specials just to get people in the door. That is the worst thing you can do. What type of clientele do you really want? Do you want the type of clients that are only coming to you because you have a special, because you got a really low price? Or do you want a clientele full of people who enjoy your craft, who trust you, who know that you know exactly what you're doing? Like what exactly do you want? And now introducing this in cosmetology school is the reason why, to me, most hairstylists have the biggest problem. And for example, you have one hairstylist that everybody will follow on social media, whether it's here on YouTube or on Instagram, whatever, and they'll charge like $700-800 for a weave, and other hairstylists will be like, oh my god, how she get to charge that much money? Another hairstylist over here that only do it for $50. Well, listen, that's because nobody taught anybody anything. They're the main things that you need to run the mechanical part of cosmetology and having a cosmetology license was not taught. So there's no handbook. There's no one thing that you're not supposed to do, one thing that you should do, so everybody does everything. For example, if you go to the grocery store right now, a gallon of milk is the same. It doesn't matter where you go. Like, there's a medium price and then there's a max price that is not gonna go over. You'll never go anywhere and pay 25 cents for a gallon of milk, and you'll never go to a store and pay $50 for a gallon of milk. It will not happen. There is a set price because there are logistics of the industry, and there have been things about the mechanical part of, you know, I don't know, of the food industry that people know and they live by and they respect. However, in the cosmetology field, there's nothing like that. So you can have Tata Salabria that's doing weave in the kitchen for $10.55 and a pack of Newports and maybe even 2 or 3 pre-rolls, and then you have another hairstylist over here who charges her worth, right? So that's something that you guys really need to take into consideration, is branding and promotion. Now, branding, whenever you say the word branding, most people just think your logo. That is not what branding is. Branding is everything that you've already done in step 1 and 2. So when it comes to branding, obviously you want that place that you fit into the industry to match every time somebody looks at you. That's down to the colors that you use for your labeling, the places that you work, and everything like that. Now, with the places that you work, another thing that a lot of people have no idea about and do not understand, because keep in mind, whenever you get out of cosmetology school, they want you to go commission. So why the hell would they tell you anything about booth rent? A lot of people have no idea how much a cosmetologist pays for booth rent. I have another video where I go really in depth about booth rent, but let me just say this. To start off, depending on what type of area you are in, this isn't to say anything bad about anybody, but to be in an area that people would think isn't really necessarily that good. I know people who pay as little as $50 a week for booth rent, okay? And those are, just being honest, I mean, I'm from the D, I can say this. This is like from one of them people that's in a hair salon that's like super hood, where they coming in like, hey, y'all want some chicken? Y'all want some French fries? Yo, I got DVDs. I got DVDs and CDs real quick. You want some? Like, those are the type of hair salons that's paying. Like, I know people who are paying anywhere from $50 to $60 a week in Booth Rent. Some even paying $50 a month. Okay, so that's on the lower end. But for other hairstylists and stuff, let's just talk about the place that I am at right now. Right now, I am currently at Studio Salons. We'll talk about that on another day. I'm currently at Studio Salons. Now, a single small room at Studio Salons is $285 a week. I am currently in, it's a double, and it is $400 a week, okay? So once you understand that, they never really let you know how it goes as it pertains to booth rent. And because you don't know how it goes pertaining to booth rent, you don't understand how to position yourself properly in a place where you are able to afford that. And a lot of people are like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. And people are like, oh my God, how would I be able to afford that? But if you were taught the proper tools in cosmetology school, by the time it was time for you to break off and go independent, you would have all of the tools and all of the logistics that you need to get to a place where you can afford to pay $1,600 a month for booth rent. I'm not special. I haven't done anything that I think is extremely extraordinary. I followed certain steps to get me a certain result. I put my pants on one leg at a time, just like y'all. Teach you branding and promotion. And once you set a brand and once you figured yourself out, okay, now you have your cosmetology license. What in the hell do I do to get people to sit in my chair? And that's when people are like, okay, why don't you go ahead and do specials and get people to come in here and get people to sit in your chair? That goes against your brand completely, because if you want to be the type of hairstylist that people respect, how could you make somebody respect you by saying, hey, I went to school and I spent all of this money on my education, but my services aren't really worth this much. You can pay half. And then you expect that person to then one day go from one day paying you $100 or so in to then when you begin to understand your work, you then have to go back and get all of your clients accustomed to paying your work. Whereas if you start that off right away, you never have to worry about that. But you don't learn that in cosmetology school, and then you go online and over again, you see cosmetologists online like, oh my God, yeah, 40% off, or I'm doing weaves for $50 or $60 here. That's why I gave you the information that I gave you to begin with. A medical assistant, I can guarantee you that a medical assistant does not go in and argue with somebody on her worth. She has her degree, she has her certification, and she knows what she's worth. So I don't even know what they make per hour, but let's say they make $14 an hour. I'm gonna go in and say, okay, well, I'll work for $5 an hour just so I can get this job. No, that is not how it goes. So if you pay to triple the amount that they paid to go to cosmetology school, I'm having a really hard time understanding. The fourth thing that they do not give you in cosmetology school is a retirement plan. I'm not knocking anyone, but I know hairstylists, and some people, like I saw this video of this woman and she's so beautiful, and she's like, I want to say she's like in her 60s or like in her 70s, and she's still standing behind a chair because that's what she wants to do. However, the old location that I was at, there were multiple women. There was a woman that was in her 60s and she had been doing hair since she was like 17. She had literally been doing hair longer than I've been alive. She's been doing hair for 30 years and I'm 28. She's literally been doing hair longer than I've been alive, and I'm not being rude or disrespectful. I'm just being real, because if I can't be real, we're not going to be able to move forward and get results. She's been doing hair longer than I've been alive, but I'm further in my career than she is. I'm actually double the amount further than I am in my career than where she is, and that's ridiculous because they do not give us a retirement plan. They make you believe that you have to stand behind the chair 24/7. They make you believe that you cannot have a logistics or a certain way that you run your business, i.e. a booking system or deposits and things of that nature. There are no logistics as it pertains to cosmetology school when you go. None whatsoever. You have no idea. So you literally get your cosmetology license and then you're just out there. You just gotta figure it out as you go. And most of us are doing it the wrong way. I I am not saying that it is a horrible thing to stand behind the chair until you're 60, 70 years old, if that is something that you want to do. However, you never want to be in the type of position where that is your only option. There's another woman that works in the same place, and she has a daughter older than me. Her and her daughter share a room, and she's still doing hair, and she lives with her mom, and she's in her, like, she's close to her 60s. And so I'm not saying anything negative. I'm just letting you guys know and giving you basically the end result of how things go in this industry if you do not have the proper tools. You need a retirement plan. How do you have a retirement plan? Yourself in a bottle. Brand yourself. Whether, let's say your niche is, let's say the one thing, your niche in the hair industry is hair extensions. Okay, start your own hair extension brand. Even if you don't want to sell virgin hair, what do people need once they have hair extensions? Is it a paddle brush? Is it brushes to brush out your hair? Figure different stuff out like that. Find you a distributor and put your name on brushes. Get a retirement plan. Start a product line. Do you find that one of the problems in your climate that you're doing hair at is that people's hair is extremely dry? Fix that problem. Come up with a product line. For example, I'll use myself for an example. This is not to brag or boast. I'm just, like I said, I'm telling you guys what I know. So in my industry, I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, and one of the main problems that people had out here was two things. The first thing is it's so dry out here. Las Vegas, Nevada is the desert. There's like tumbleweed. There'll be like tumbleweed rolling. I thought I was going to die the first time I saw it. But like, it's so dry out here. So I wanted to create a product that made it so my client's hair was able to retain moisture and to be protected from heat tools, because the Team Natural movement had just taken off. So I was like, okay, let me figure out something that I can do to help my clients out when it comes to them straightening their hair without their hair being damaged or anything of that nature. So we did that, and then as my brand began to grow, I started to get people that were literally getting on planes from other climates that had a whole lot of humidity, and Nevada has none. And they would come here, they would get their hair done, they would go back home and get on a plane, and as soon as that humidity touched their hair will revert back. Now, that was nothing I was doing wrong. That's science. I can't control that, but I knew that there was something that I could do scientifically to combat the humidity, and that is where Silk Fusion Therapy was born. I branded myself and I promoted myself, and this is my retirement plan, you guys. It acts as one of the many things in my retirement plan. I really hope that you're getting this, and I really hope that this is making sense to you. If it is making sense to you, leave me a comment below. I don't care if you comment 4 or 5 times on this video. I really want to help you guys, because I am so sick of seeing hairstylists struggle in this industry because they aren't given the truth. Number 5, which is the most important thing and the thing that makes me the most excited, and is the one thing that is going to start making my neck move, and I already know, so I want to hear it. Let me drink some green tea. By the way, this is a green tea latte with coconut milk from Starbucks, and Jesus gave them this recipe. He did. He came down to Starbucks and said, hey, we drink this all the time in heaven. Put this on the menu one time for the one time. The very last thing is, say it with me, permission. You do not need to wait for permission from anyone to move forward. You do not need permission from your peers. You do not need permission from your family. You don't need permission from that person in the hair industry that you look up to. You don't need permission from anyone to move forward, because this is the problem. We get on social media so many times, and I've shared a video before about social media and how people be flexing for the gram and for YouTube and everything else. Not so much YouTube, or mainly for Instagram. But so many times we wait for permission based upon the things that we see on social media. You'll see another hairstylist and be like, oh my gosh, her work looks so good. Oh my God, I'll never be like her. And I'm not going to say anybody's name in particular, but I'll just give you guys an example. I had a client, and she's a regular client of mine, into a hairstylist who is absolutely huge on Instagram, right? So she goes to the girl, and on Instagram all of her pictures look absolutely amazing. They look. Stop comparing yourself to the people that you see on social media, because it is not real. And if you begin to understand the logistics of everything and you follow this list that I have given you guys with all of the information that is with it, then you will be able to take your business to the next level, whatever that business may be. However, an independent contractor is an independent contractor. You can take all of these tools that I am giving you guys and you can just switch it. So for example, if you are somebody who is starting your own catering company, or if you're a person who's starting their own clothing line, or if you're somebody that's, you know, selling heels or shoes or anything like that, where you are independent, this checklist that I am about to give you guys for free is going to be amazing. So this is what I want you guys to do. This checklist is basically just going to list everything that we just talked about here in writing, and we will be able to download a copy so you will always have it. And I am going to leave that all of that information in the description box below. I also have 2 other ebooks going on right now. The first one is also free, and this is how to break into the hair industry. But I'm giving you guys my top 20 tips on how to break into the hair industry, and it's giving you a drawn out synopsis on basically the different tools that I told you guys about that they don't teach you about in cosmetology school. It goes into depth with that. That ebook is 100% free, you guys. It's a free ebook. I did include the fact that last year I made $165,000 within the first 6 months of that year. You don't really want to come out and say that, because like I said, the hair industry is set up a certain way. You're supposed to be quiet. Certain things in the industry, if they're top guns or if they're top dog, or you don't say anything about that, whether it's right or wrong. Well, I don't want to be that person. I do not want to be one of those hairstylists that is so scared of somebody taking my spot that I don't want to give other people information, because to be completely and totally honest with you, I'm not saying anything bad about older hairstylists. God knows that I'm not. Nobody take offense to this, please. But I will not be in my 60s standing behind a chair. I just will not. So I had to put all of these steps in place to give myself a retirement plan. And now I have a retirement plan. I love doing hair. And I don't know, like, if I take like a week off work, I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do with myself? So I don't think I'll stop doing hair anytime soon, at least for the next 4 or 5 years. However, if I wanted to stop doing hair right now, I still make well over 6 figures, because I put these 5 steps into play, you guys. That leads me to my very last thing, which is my course where I teach you how I made my first $100,000 in this industry, you guys. And I'm giving you everything, all of the ins and outs. I know I gave you a lot of information in this video, but I'm going in depth, and literally I'm like kicking ass on here. You gonna feel like you'll be reading and be like, Sin, who are you talking to? Sugarcoat things. I'm not sugarcoating anything. Everything is straight, no chaser. I mean, for example, a lot of you guys probably don't even know this, but the founders of Instagram actually just recently stepped away from Instagram. We're going deep into that. I'm giving you guys all of this information. I'm giving you guys so much information because I want you guys to be great. And I am teaching you guys how I made my first $100,000 for $30. If you're interested in taking any of my courses, all you have to do is look in the description box and go to my website, sinsmith.guru. And once you go there, go ahead and click on the More tab. And then once you click on the More tab, click on Classes. And once you click on Classes, there will be a drop down of all of the classes that I have, free ones as well as the paid courses. Obviously, the paid courses give you so much more information, and literally, like I said, I'm teaching you how I made my first $100,000 for $30. Like, seriously, some people spend more than that on Starbucks. And mind you, it's nothing forced. You can do my free courses first and see how you like it. But that is it, you guys. If you're not doing so already, make sure you are subscribed here, and like I said, make sure you click that little bell so you get a notification every time I post a video. Make sure that you guys are following me on Instagram and Snapchat. I am on all other forms of social media, but I'm only on, other than YouTube, the only 2 forms of social media that I'm on like on a regular basis is Instagram and Snapchat. So I love you guys so much. Make sure that you are great and understand that you do not need permission. And let me say this, if you're a person that feels like they need permission, let's do this. I don't know if your ears are a little too holy or something, or if it's kids around, tell the kids to leave a little bit, because yeah, let me give you some permission. Get your ass up and turn off of your phone. Stop comparing yourself to people. Follow people on social media that encourage you. People that are on levels that you aspire to be on, that don't make you feel less than. Even if a person's page is a negative, if you feel a way about yourself and about your own business, being on their page, I think it may be time for you to get off of their page. Only let the things in your life that bring you joy, peace, and happiness, and if it does not bring you happiness, completely separate yourself from it. Because listen, this next phase of your life is going to take everything that you have. Everything. You're not going to be able to skate by and like play around with stuff, and you're not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to take shortcuts. There are no shortcuts in this industry. Do you understand? A lot of you are like, oh my God, Sin, what do I do to grow my business? You take these steps. A lot of us graduate from cosmetology school, and then we want somebody to hold our hands through things. I know I said I was going to be done, but I'll be done after this, seriously. No one cares about your business, your growth, and your elevation more than you do. You just paid your cosmetology school over $20,000. Did they care enough to give you any of the information that I gave you? No. So if you pay somebody over $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 and they didn't even give a shit to tell you, what makes you think that somebody that you find on social media is going to care? Whenever you guys reach out to me, it's not that I don't care, but you have to understand there are no shortcuts. None. No shortcuts whatsoever. A lot of people come out in the industry and they want somebody to give them like this playbook on how to get from A to B. No. You're not gonna make $100,000 a year. You're not gonna make $200,000-$300,000 a year without investing in your craft. It's just not gonna happen. Some people will watch a video like this or other YouTubers and be like, oh my God, they're just telling you this stuff to make money. Not why I'm telling you guys this. Like I said, I paid almost $30,000 to go to cosmetology school, but baby, listen, I learned how to round brush African American hair in cosmetology school. I didn't learn how to braid. I didn't learn how to weave. I didn't learn any of that in cosmetology school. So since that almost $30,000, I've spent well over $20,000 in the last, probably way more than that. And we've already talked about Instagram. I'm just talking about education. In my past video, I already told y'all I can spend about $35,000 just in promotion and branding alone. Okay, and this is in the process of Instagram coming around and social media being on the rise and things of that nature. So you will not get ahead and you will not be on the same level as those people that you are comparing yourself to for free. You cannot expect people to teach you how to make money for free. It does not work that way. It doesn't. But I still want to make it affordable for you guys, because obviously, if you're breaking into the industry, you may not have the money to do that. Hell, I know I didn't. In my series, there's a detailed description of the things that I will be teaching you guys, and it gives you all of the tools. I'm talking like how to build your portfolio, everything. Literally from the time you step out of cosmetology school to the place that I am right now, I'm including all of it. Like I said, I love you guys so much. If you're not doing so already, make sure you're following me on Instagram and Snapchat. Like I said, make sure you're subscribed to both of my websites. Of course, the SinSmith.guru is going to give you more insight to what we've been talking about today. Styleface.biz website is going to give you, 50-60% off discount code. So make sure you guys subscribe there, because Black Friday coming up, girl. We're going to be doing some serious sales, girl. But I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening to me. And remember, girl, you bomb, girl, you pop. You're great. And if you don't do anything else, even if you do not take my paid class on how I made my first $100,000 teaching you how to make your first $100K, girl, make make sure you at least download this checklist for all of the information that I gave you here today. I love you guys so much, and until my next video, bye girl.